E.T. here with more showbiz and politics. This is Robert Lincoln, the oldest, only surviving child of the martyred Abraham Lincoln. After his father's death, Robert became an attorney, minister to England, Secretary of War for both Presidents Garfield and Arthur. He was president of the Pullman Car Company. This is Edwin Booth, brother of John Wilkes Booth, who shot and killed Abraham Lincoln April 14 of 1865 at Ford's Theater in Washington City. You know it as the District of Columbia. Edwin Booth, the most famous tragedian of his day, the number of his performances of Hamlet have yet to be equaled. His younger brother, John Wilkes Booth, infamous today, was also an actor, but never got the adulation poured on his older brother. Think of this as Edwin, and this is John Wilkes. Edwin Booth was a Unionist, and he voted for Lincoln. He was horrified upon hearing of his brother's actions. Edwin Booth and Robert Lincoln, both oldest sons, raised in a family where the father was either absent most of the time, that's Lincoln, or violent and drunk, that's Booth. The two met less than a year before Booth's brother murdered Robert's father. Edwin was himself unaware of the significance of this meeting until a Colonel Badeau, who had recently spoken to Robert Lincoln, that was after the assassination, explained it to Booth. Here's what happened. Robert Lincoln was traveling from Harvard to D.C. At a Jersey City, New Jersey train depot, Robert was jostled against a train car at the very moment it began to move. Robert lost his balance. He began to fall between the platform and the moving car. He was grabbed from behind by his collar and pulled back by Edwin Booth, who was recognized and thanked by Robert, but didn't know it was Robert. People who knew Edwin Booth say that finding out that he'd once saved Lincoln's son's life helped ease the pain caused by his brother's actions. By the way, on that day at the Jersey City railway station, Booth's companion was John T. Ford, owner of the theater where, in less than a year, Lincoln would be assassinated. Also, Robert had been invited to accompany his parents to the Ford's Theater performance of Our American Cousin, but he refused, claiming exhaustion from recent service as an adjutant for General Grant. Robert was, however, present for Lincoln's death hours later. He was also present for the assassinations of Presidents Garfield in 1881 and McKinley in 1901. Robert later refused invitations by other presidents because, he said, there is a certain fatality about presidential functions when I am present. But he did attend the 1922 dedication of the Lincoln Memorial, as did Chief Justice and former President Taft, who survived for another 8 years, and the current president, Warren Harding, who'd be dead in August of the following year. This is E.T. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this story, and do subscribe.